live stream. I'm gonna see if I can get this one done. This is a lawn I haven't showed on a live stream yet. I'm not sure if the homeowner is home. So we'll see how that goes. Sometimes they come out and have a chat with me. Again, I'm not sure. It's always difficult to tell if they're home or not. There's some cars in the driveway and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're around. At any rate, this is one that have been doing for a few years, and it's an opportunity for me to do this one with the Crest battery equipment, so it should be a lot quieter with this one. At any rate, I'm going to do the trimming, the mowing, of course, and then some blowing. This one as well is one that had a bunch of Schaefer beetle damage in the spring. So it's been reseeded and repaired. They had a watering permit as well to be able to water. And you'll notice some... They've got some like lawn decorations, some lawn things that I'll have to move, little windmills to move around because of trying to keep the crows and stuff off of it because of that Schaefer beetle damage. It's the crows and the skunks and the raccoons that do a lot of the damage. So they've put out these little windmill things to try to scare them off, I guess, scare the crows off. And apparently it has been working. So I just, every week when I mow, as I get close to one, there's the small like little plastic windmill things. I just pull them out and just kind of move them over. Get into that. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Let me know if you guys can hear. And I'm not sure actually if let's see if I can pull my switch the audio to the ISO tunes and see. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not. Let me just set this down for a second and throw those on. So let me know if the audio has switched to the ISO tunes. It normally does switch to the ISO tunes there, but just let me know in the comments. Just type whether you can hear me or not. I'm going to switch the camera to the back view and then we'll get started. Alright, so switch that over. You can kind of see the little windmills on the lawn there that I was talking about. Throw this in my holder to get some footage. Grab my safety glasses. And again, let me know if you can... Oh, I dropped my truck keys. It's a corner lot, so I got this boulevard kind of area here, and then the whole front, and a little strip on the other side of the driveway. There's no backyard for this one. Got the Crest stuff I'm using. This is the far. We're doing 4 out of 5 bars after 5 is. So now I do small houses. Again, if you could let me know in the comments whether you can hear my audio coming through that microphone, that would be very helpful. Lawns are really starting to green back up. We've had a bunch of rain, at least one good heavy rain each week. Normally, most lawns would be brown still, and you can see some remnants across the street over there. Some brown lawns. But normally they would all be pretty crispy at this point in the year. Coming off the summer, it usually takes like till mid September before the first rain hits. But we had, like I say, at least one good heavy rain, like torrential rain each week through August. So things have come back pretty quickly. Capture some footage here using this crisp stuff. It's like I'm on a higher power setting. I actually have that a little bit lower. Doesn't need to be on the high power setting. The low power setting is more than enough. Sometimes accidentally hit the button. When I'm grabbing it out of the trailer, or when I'm first turning it on. Go to the other side of the driveway. This half strip shared. Edging this from the grass side. I prefer edging from the concrete side. I think I get a better view. Just my preference is to do it from the other side. But when this car is parked, when you're doing it with a string trimmer, it's not always possible because it takes a bit more space to do string trimming, or string edging, I should say. Again, if you could let me know if you can hear the audio, that would be great. I'm going to edge this long run here. When I'm edging with the string, of course, trying to concentrate, watching the edge, keeping the RPM up so that centrifugal force keeps that string straight, not flopping around. It acts more like a blade. I'm also keeping 3 points of contact on the trimmer. So I've got my left hand on the D handle. I've got my right hand holding the regular handle and operating the switch. And then I've got my forearm putting pressure, sideways pressure, on the motor to stabilize the trimmer. Keep the edge as steady as possible. Not too bad. Do these rocks. This here, they just added these rocks over the summer. A little bit different now to trim. It used to just be dirt. It was much easier. But I don't think these rocks are going to go anywhere. They're pretty large. But there's always that worry about a rock flying, hitting a window or something. These are pretty big, but there are some small ones in there. Just like that. All you can do is all you can do. There's the edge, looking pretty good for what it is. Again, if you could let me know if you guys can hear the audio, that would be great. Throw the trimmer back in there and grab the blower and blow some of this debris that's on the sidewalk. First up on the lawn, so when I'm mowing it, the bagger will collect it. See, the leaves are already starting to fall. Which is pretty crazy. They were already starting in August this year. But really, I'm just blowing the debris that I've created, plus some of those leaves and stuff off the sidewalk. Onto the lawn. mower. No comments yet. Nobody want to volunteer letting me know whether they can hear the audio or not. Be very helpful if somebody did that. The blower back in. Pretty minimal setup. 3 pieces. Trimmer, blower, edger. I'm going to lock up because I'll be mowing on the other side of the driveway as well. Got 2 bars on the battery left at the moment. I had to do a couple of houses this morning. 2 of them I had to put it on full power with the high lift blades. So that ate up a bit of consumption. This one here should be okay. Mowing at 2.5 inches on the back and 2 inches on the front. Off. Again, if you could let me know if you can hear the audio, that would be helpful. If you have any questions, of course I can do my best to answer those. These live streams are very impromptu. I'm trying to do them. Never know situations I'll be in, whether I can do them or not for any given house. Which for a live stream is difficult because they tend to work better if you can schedule a live stream, but it's not really something I can do in terms of like scheduling a live stream. Just kind of those. Do it when I can do it. Whoever can watch it can watch it. And everyone else that's interested can watch it after the fact. Still no comments. Hard to tell sometimes with the sun, the glare, and the angle the camera's at. So occasionally I'll stop and shield the screen so I can see if there's been any comments. So if you do, ask a question, comment anything, just hang tight. I may not see it right away because of the sun's glare. Don't be shy. These ones are pretty. It's going to get pretty thick. It's lush and green though, which is very nice. Better than the alternative of having traditional summers where lawns are completely brown. You can see a section here where it's not as green. So you get ones like this, plants like this that water do their best for the most part, given the circumstances with water restrictions and stuff like that. It's nice to be able to have some lawns to mow. I'll actually show what I'm doing. One of the challenges I have, not so much in my lawn care business because I mow people's lawns, regardless of how much it is. It's weekly mowing for everybody. But the challenge is more for social media with watering restrictions and things like that. And a lot of the houses aren't as green all the time because people just are not allowed to water enough to make a difference. So it's always difficult when I'm doing reviews, working with brands, working on timelines. Sometimes you're talking with a brand about a certain mower or something, and it can take sometimes months to iron out the details and that sort of stuff. And, they're working within their own constraints. And I'm trying to bring you guys content on using this stuff. But it's always fighting that, knowing the inevitable here in where I'm situated with water restrictions and stuff like that. Lawns are going to be brown pretty quick for the summer. So here's one of those things. I'll move that to the mowed side. And then continue on. Not a big deal. It's the windmills. Yeah, so it's hard to always kind of manage the whole creating content stuff because the lawns are just so varying. Certain times of the year they look fantastic, so I try to get a lot of YouTube video content and stuff like that done in the spring months. There's a lot of natural rainfall, growth. That one over. At this time of year, it's always a balancing act. Especially when you're trying to create content and all that sort of stuff, and everybody's geographical areas are different. So there's plenty of people on social media mowing lawns in areas where there is no watering restrictions or things like that. And lawns always look phenomenal. So it's tough to showcase sometimes some things. So always nice when there's a lawn like this that is at least green. And you can actually see the mower mowing. So on this crest mower, you'll notice with battery mowers that they don't bog down when the bag is full, so you don't get that deflation. With this crest mower, the telltale sign is this wheel here gets the grass clippings on it when it's clogged. So that's what I'm watching for. On a traditional gas lawnmower, I'd be watching the bag itself to see when it kind of has that deflated look.
tell me the airflow has stopped. But on the battery mowers, even with wet, tall grass, they don't bog down. At least not like a gas mower where you kind of hear it trying to stall out. Battery mower will just keep going, just so much torque. It'll just create a green mud underneath if the deck is full of grass clippings. The motor itself won't slow down. A lot of clover in this lawn. But that is just a byproduct of the environment here as well. That's why the area that I service, as you can see from the company name, it's called Cloverdale, because the first settlers that came here described the area as hills of clover, and hence it got its name as Cloverdale, Clover Valley, Clover Hill. There's a lot of variations of the clover word for areas around here. And certainly, with this lawn, as you can see, it does not disappoint. If you're a fan of clover, although an interesting factoid that I learned when I went to horticulture school when I first started my business was that clover is actually very healthy for you as it's nitrogen fixing, and that apparently the story goes that back in the day, back before weed chemicals, that the quality of a lawn was determined by the amount of clover it had. And when you went to buy grass seed and seed blends, that the higher the clover mix in the bag, the more expensive it was. And again, it's because lawns were used for different things back then, pastures and things like that. Clover stayed green, it's nitrogen fixing, it releases that nitrogen, feeds the rest of the lawn, so it acts like a natural fertilizer, but only when kind of the first weed chemicals were developed did kind of the original chemist or scientist who developed like those original ones. The story goes that when asked how effective their chemicals were against weeds, they said that it's highly effective, it works great, but it has one drawback. And the drawback is it also kills the clover. Because back then, as mentioned, clover was looked upon as a good thing to have. See, I'm starting to get some, again, full bag here. It's always difficult with the bag not deflating. So I gotta watch that rear wheel. Noticed a bit of the clippings shooting out from under the deck, which is another signal that it's more mulching at the moment than bagging. At any rate, that is what I learned. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea, but that's what they told us. I'm going to mow this little section again, just in case it wasn't bagging properly there. Bag full, just to make sure I pick up clippings so they don't get any no yellow clippings on the surface. Still no comments, eh? Nobody got nothing to say, really. Hello. How's it going? Nothing. Not even an insult. Wow. Not, hey, we can hear you fine. Not a, hey, that story you just told is all BS. Like I said, I don't know if it's true. That is what they told us on kind of a synopsis history of clover in lawns. Oh, it's a little bit wetter on this side. See, the tires are all wet. Been getting a lot of morning dew already. So this side of the lawn, as you can see, is in the shade. Probably just is not dried out. Where the other half of the lawn is in the sun. See the stripes on the lawn? Does a really good job. The grass mower, no like striping kit or anything on it, just that rubber flap on the back. Reminds me a lot of the old Honda HRC 216 for the striping, and also the look of it. Very reminiscent of a Honda mower. The red, the charcoal gray kind of body, black accents, black bag. Do another final kind of blow here. Though most of it is kind of picked up already from that first initial blow off. See, the wind is blowing. So not too worried about the leaves at the moment, because they will be blowing all over the place. Oh, thought I felt something. Thought I felt something hit the ground, hit my leg. Yeah, don't worry too much if it's windy, or especially for this particular one, being a corner lot. This is one where in the past I've spent a lot of time doing, making sure all the leaves were picked up. Because it's a corner lot, a little bit after, 5 or 10 minutes after I leave, there's debris all over the lawn again from the street. And this is just one I do just the front yard for. You'll notice I haven't done any of this stuff coming up on the cracks and stuff. I don't worry about that. He typically sprays the weed killers himself on the lawn as well. He has done some weed control himself in the past. I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit when I get back in the truck. And the other thing I gotta do is just put last month's invoice in the door. We're all looking pretty good. Nice and clean now. Let's see. Switch cameras around. Let's see if I can slowly bear with me. Trying to go back to the microphone on the front. So, yeah, thanks for joining in on this particular live stream. Hopefully you guys did hear me on these ISO-tunes Link 2.0s with this boom mic. Nobody was brave enough to let me know in the chat whether they could hear me or not. But yeah, typically this is just one I do every week. This particular one, front lawn. This one you can see from the neighborhood. Lots of big trees everywhere, so leaf cleanups are always a bit of a deal on this one to do. But yeah, this one, like I said, I was mentioning there, I don't worry too much about the weeds and stuff along that curb edge on the road and the weeds that are like on the road section there. If I can show you guys that. Let's go back to the photo. Like that stuff right there that you can see kind of growing around there. I don't worry about that because this particular client does the weed killer himself. He will spray that from time to time, and as well as the lawn he has put, and that has been a bit of an issue. It's the whole reason those windmills are out, because I had this lawn dialed in. I've actually posted a lot of photos of this lawn on my Instagram, where the stripes are looking like so nice, so perfect. And last summer he went and put weed control down. I was telling him that I wouldn't. He was asking me for my advice. I wouldn't. He went and did it anyways. But the problem was that we then had a full water ban go into effect like the next week. So you didn't even have the 1 day a week where you could water, and the lawn really took a hit from that uh, weed control, the Kill X or whatever he put on the lawn. It really suffered, and then with the Schaefer beetle and all that sort of stuff, it just was no match for the lawn to be able to sustain the lawn being green. And Schaefer beetle working underneath the ground, eating grass roots and stuff like that. That whole area there where those windmills were. Let's see if we can do another little back camera there. That whole area there, it was like a huge circle where it was just like down to dirt by the fall there. It was pretty sad actually, because like I said, this is one of the kind of greenest lawns usually. But it's nice to see that it's finally coming back. It took a whole year for it to come back. Luckily, this year we've had a lot of that consistent rain and stuff, and they did have a watering permit to treat it for Schaefer beetle and all that sort of stuff. So that worked out well. Some of the other lawns in the neighborhood, switch the camera again. You can see like that one over there is pretty typical for what a lawn would typically look like at this time of year. So to have something like that versus something like that makes a big difference, right? Looks much nicer. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that live stream. Like I said, these are going to be pretty impromptu. I don't even know if, like I said, nobody in the chat has let me know if you could hear me on this microphone throughout the chat. Again, those are the type of things that just make it more streamlined and easy. If you guys are a little more interactive, because then it helps me figure out and dial in the live streaming and learning what works and what doesn't work and all that sort of stuff if there's feedback on that, right? But at any rate, I will have to watch this back later and see what worked or what didn't work, if the microphones were picking up. But like I said, the live streams unfortunately are going to be pretty impromptu when I'm doing them, because I don't know when I can do a live stream. When I show up to a house, and if the conditions are right, it might be raining, it might be people doing stuff. I've shown up to ones that I thought I was going to do a live stream on, and the customer is out there working on something in the driveway, and it's like, oh, I don't want to have them on camera because they're not really expecting that, right? The other thing too is I prefer doing live streams when people aren't home, just because a lot of times customers will come out and talk to you mid-mow, and sometimes they say sensitive things that you don't want to have caught on live stream. I've had a customer in the past come out to me mid-mow and let me know that they were not going to be around because they had found out that they had colon cancer, right? So it was like, that's not the sort of thing, if I'm doing a live stream, that I want somebody to come up and not know that I'm live streaming and tell me something like that, sensitive information or something like that. So that's why I prefer doing the live streams when I'm pretty sure that people aren't home. Or like a few weeks ago, I did a live stream and then they arrived home mid live stream, and I know they're going to talk to me, so I stopped the live stream kind of abruptly because of that. But so yeah, unfortunately with the live streams, it's not something that I can say, hey, every Wednesday at this time I'm doing a live stream. It's just one of those things. When I show up, sometimes it'll be in the morning, sometimes it'll be in the afternoon, sometimes it'll be, and if you're available to watch and interested in watching, then hop on. Otherwise, you can watch, I guess, the rerun of it later on if you're interested in seeing kind of my daily kind of picking a client lawn and doing that and kind of talking through some of the things I'm doing and all that. So hopefully this one worked in terms of the quality of the stream and cellular signal and audio quality and the microphone and all that sort of stuff. But other than that, and again, like I said, I don't know. Maybe there's just an issue. Let me just say, just type in something in the chat because I just want to see if it'll work or not. So yeah, it seems to be working. So yeah, it wasn't a not an issue with the chat itself, because it seems to be showing up there on the screen. So I guess whoever had joined in just was shy and didn't want to type anything in the chat. That's all right, I guess. But anyways, thanks for joining in and watching. I'll see if I can do another one tomorrow. I prefer doing the ones where I can use the battery powered equipment just because it's a lot quieter and I